think just a solid season overall. Whenever you can win, leading up to a major championship, I think it gives you some confidence that you can play well, and I think that's definitely the case this week.
That's great. Thanks. We'll open up for questions, starting with Jeff.
Tony, as you look at their 9th PGA, played a lot of majors now, all the pieces are in place. How do you make it happen at a major? What's the recipe there for you?
Yeah, I don't think the recipe changes too much for me with the type of golf I've been playing, lately. I've won, 4 times in the last calendar, if we kind of go back the last calendar year. And so it just tells me that my game's better than it's ever been. And confidence, I think, is as high as it's ever been leading up into the major season. So that's the exciting part for me. And I look forward to this week. Yesterday I played 18 holes here, and it's a golf course that fits my style. It's long. It's you got to hit it in the fairway. And those are things that I've done well over this last year, and hopefully I take that right into this week.
Is momentum as a player, as you talk about winning so much in the last year, you feel that as a player, don't you?
Yeah, no question. I feel like a different player, more so than I've ever been. I'm more confident in my game and my abilities than I've ever been, and just who I am as a person and as a player. So I think those things will serve me well as I continue down my path in my career.
Juan?
So, Tony, I was thinking back about the Wisdom Straits 2015, I think.
Yeah.
And kind of the first time, I guess, that you felt like you were major material. So,
yeah.
And can you take us through those memories a little bit about that first PGA Championship?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was my first PGA. It was my rookie season. I think I was leading this golf tournament through kind of halfway through the third round, maybe the beginning of the third round, and it was cool just to get a taste of it. And at that time, I think I knew that someday I could win a major championship. It didn't happen that week and hasn't happened since, but it definitely gave me a fun taste of what major championship golf was like, and that my game is fit for major championships. So I played in many majors, been on some international teams, which has been a lot of fun. So it's nice to be back at the PGA Championship, kind of where my major, I would say my major championship history started.
Yeah. Is it the PGA Championship, the way they set up the golf courses, or the whole concept of it is something that you prefer, and why would that be?
Yeah, I love playing the PGA Championship. It represents the PGA of America does a great job running this golf tournament. They run the Ryder Cup. It's just a tournament that brings back so many great feelings for me. Being involved in a couple Ryder Cups, I know a lot of the people that run the PGA of America. It's always good vibes. So, as far as the golf course, golf courses, I feel like they've used some U.S. Open venues. This is a U.S. Open venue, and so I feel like PGA Championship has changed in a way where the golf courses are starting to become a little tougher, which I think fits my game well.
Jeff?
Why so? The tougher the test, fits you better. Why is that?
Yeah, I just feel like mentally, you've really got to be there and emotionally. I think it's been proven. The guys that win kind of have that mental fortitude to do that, and I feel like I have that, and that's something that I've got to prove to myself and win a major championship. But I feel like I do have those tools to kind of overcome these type of tests. They're really tough golf courses, and this is definitely fits that bill. This is going to be a big golf course to handle. None of the holes I played yesterday, I looked at it and said, I'm going to birdie this hole this week for sure. And it's going to be that type of test. So I think that's again the guys that can mentally overcome the hurdle of just trying to stay patient, and you just have to play well for all 4 days you're going to win this week.
And as you made your way around here, what did you find was the biggest thing the golf course asks of a player?
You got to hit it far, and you got to hit it straight. Yep. I think this golf course is going to start from the tee box. If you're not hitting enough fairways, you're just not going to be able to play this place very good. The rough is long enough to where you're not going to be able to advance the ball to the greens. And the reason I say long is because if I remember right, there's 4 par 4s over 500 yards. Yesterday, after hitting some really nice drives up the fairway, even with some roll, I was hitting 5-6 iron into these par 4s, which I'm really not used to doing unless it's a par 5. So it's a par 70 as well. So we're only going to get 2 cracks at a par 5, and both of the par 5s are over 600 yards. So even those, I might not be able to reach into. So it's just it's all you can handle, but that's what you want in a major championship. But it's a golf course that the guy that's going to win this week is going to be driving the golf ball very well.
Mike 1.
How you doing, Tony? DJ
up, man?
Bagspan, the B1055 WLGZ HD2 here in Rochester, New York. What sets you apart from a lot of golfers that you travel with your family? How does that help you with your game when you're on the course, going to tournament to tournament?
Yeah, it is no secret that I'm with my family every week, and it's a wonderful thing. We have a good time together. I've mentioned this before. My kids are only young once, so watching them grow as we travel together is pretty amazing. So, I look at it as I have a lot of fun with them, and I think it keeps my attitude even keeled. I've learned how to separate work life and family life. My kids love coming out and watching me. I think it gives me that extra inspiration. But when I get back off the golf course, when I get back to the hotel room, to our house, whatever it may be, I'm just a dad, I'm just a husband, and I love it that way. We play card games, through the night, board games, and we just have a lot of fun together, and that's, for me, that's what it's all about.
I see you on TikTok, but you're getting your W on. Did they teach you that, or you taught them that?
My son taught me the gritty,
Okay.
so yeah, not the Dougie, but he taught me the gritty. So, my oldest boy is into all the new trends, and he reminds me how old I am with all the new stuff. So I gotta follow him with all these new trends.
Sweet. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Mike 11.
Hey, Tony. Kind of an open-ended question for you here, but I know we're coming up on the anniversary of Live Golf launching. Just where do you see the game in, say, a year from now with everything in play?
Yeah, it's hard to predict, where the game's going to be. I probably have an easier prediction on, where the PGA Tour will be, being a member of the PGA Tour. They're going to drop their schedule pretty soon, and, excited about what that looks like with some more of the other tournaments being elevated next year and what that looks like. So, I'm excited for that opportunity, and I think the elevated events have been a cool thing for the PGA Tour this year. You've seen some new rivalries, and I think that's what the game needs. That's what we wanted, going in as some top players, is playing against each other more often, and so this week, we have that opportunity to play against all the best players in the world, and it's been cool playing in the elevated events.
Great. Let's go back to Juan on 9.
So going back to the golf course, for the common golfer, us, I guess, can you explain why is this rough so tough? And if you can maybe give us a lesson on how to play this rough into the green and around the greens too. What do you do? What shots do you have to pull?
Yeah, well, hopefully I have the answers when I have the presented with the shots this week out of the rough, but. It's hard. The rough is, I would say it's 3 to 4 inches long, which is a proper thickness. And it's almost like backyard grass, where it's really thick, so it's hard to get the blade through the grass. Usually when that's the case, you got to be a little bit steeper, your angle of attack, because you can't catch too much grass before you catch the ball, especially around the greens. If you catch too much grass before the ball, it's going to shut the club face, and you're going to hit everything hot and left. So I think one of my favorite pieces of advice I have for amateurs, or even for anyone, or what I like to do is, you got to chip with a little bit more bounce, a little bit more of an open face, and then just get a little steeper, so you can get closer to the back of the ball when you're hitting out of the rough, so you're not catching so much grass as you get through. So that's a shot that I tried yesterday and seemed to be pretty effective around the greens. So hopefully it works for me this week.
Thank you for that. And my last, when you start a week like this at a major, do you have a vision of what would you like to happen, or your goals or your aspirations?
I think every week that you're out playing, you have the goal to win, and as a top player, I think I can say that with confidence. Most guys will have that goal this week. We want to win this week, but there's so much that goes into every week. Every week is special in its own way, but it's a journey throughout the week. Monday, Tuesday here, we're here on Tuesday today. I'm going to get some work in after this, and then Wednesday brings, the final day before you tee it up. So with my experience, you just take it day by day and try to learn the golf course, not get ahead of yourself as far as thinking about winning. You know, you're just trying to be properly prepared for whatever comes your way throughout the week, and then hopefully on Sunday you have a chance to win the golf tournament.
Great. We'll wrap things up right here with Jeff.
Tony, back on the family front, I think one of the coolest pictures of the year was you chasing your kids around in Mexico on the golf course after you'd won. I mean, in a capsule, is that kind of your perfect day?
Yeah, it was a perfect day, and it was a perfect week. I mean, I told my kids, you know, after we had a little family council, and I was like, this is going to be a hard week, you know, for us to top, you know, throughout our career. We were together for the whole week. We had a great time. I played with my sons every day after I played the tournament. We were out on the par 3 course in the lights, and so, you know, they ended up capturing that after my win, but it was a given. You know, I was doing that every single day with my kids, and it was just a perfect day. It was a perfect week. So that's going to be a hard one to top. But, you know, I do just enjoy being out with them and having those experiences with them.
Thanks, Tony. We appreciate it.
Thanks.